The Military Religious Freedom Foundation is doing an investigation on the amount of money the Department of Defense is spending on Christianizing our military. This is an incredible story because, of course, we want to give soldiers the ability to practice their religion. Freedom of religion is important. But just how much taxpayer money is going into these evangelical Christian events, churches, chapels, all of that stuff that take place or are located on Army bases? So I want to give you a couple numbers that the organization found that I think are pretty shocking. First of all, there was a megachurch built on Fort Hood that cost $28 million.
Now, look, you've already lost me, and this isn't even the major point. But here, I'll prove my case. Imagine if the Army spent $28 million building a mosque. What do you think would happen? Okay. First of all, obviously, it wouldn't happen, right? Second of all, people would lose it. Fox News would be like, oh my God, the Army's wasting our money building mosques in favor of Sharia law. It's an enormous waste to build a $28 million church. I don't want my tax dollars going to that. I don't mind you going to build a church on the grounds of the thing because a lot of your soldiers are Christian. Of course, there's no problem with that. Build a church. Just don't build a $28 million one.
For $28 million is ridiculous. And that's taxpayer money. Okay, that's the money that we're spending on defense. Okay, keep that in mind. It's so stupid. But by the way, just answering your question about, people who want to practice, other religions, Muslims, for instance. There was a case of a mosque near Fort Hood where one of the Muslim military members would go and do his thing, right? He would practice his religion. And one of the Christian members of the military did not like that. So he complained about it because he felt that the imam was too radical. Right. That it wasn't even located on the base. No taxpayer money went into that mosque. It was located off the base. This is a Muslim member of our military who wants the freedom to practice his religion, but he doesn't get the opportunity to do that because it makes people uncomfortable.
Now, given what happened in Fort Hood, I get the sensitivity, but at the same time, America does not have a religion. We are not a religious state. You can't say, I'm going to build a $28 million church, but I'm going to complain about a mosque outside of the base. It's not right. But look, that's the tip of the iceberg. It gets much worse. So
the Department of Defense is awarding these contracts to all of these different organizations, all of these religious organizations that do work inside these bases. So I'll give you a couple examples. Department of Defense contracts for evangelical Christian concerts. They have spent $680,000 on performers alone in the past 2 years.
Yeah, look, this is a scam. Give us the whole list and I'll explain the scam.
All right. Evangelical Christian retreats were given $30 million per year for contracts.
Insanity.
And $30 million.
And then what's the last one there?
The last one is the Oak Ridge Camp and Retreat Center. They were awarded $500,000. And the reason why I specifically mention them is because they only employ Christians, and the guests at this retreat center have to believe in Christian ideology. Okay?
Right. Not just the employees. So let's break down all the ways that this is wrong. First of all, if you're a defense contractor, you cannot discriminate based on religion. But a lot of these groups, in who they hire, totally discriminate. They say, we are a Christian group, and we are only hiring Christians. If you are a defense contractor getting over $10,000, that's illegal. It's illegal, but who cares? We're funneling millions of dollars to these people anyway. The last one that she mentioned there, they don't even let non-Christian guests stay. That's crazy. And we're taking all of our money and funneling into these guys. Why is it a scam? Because obviously there are some evangelical leaders in the Army and in the military who are doing a number of things. One, they want to promote their religion. They want to use your tax dollars, our tax dollars, to promote their religion, which is outrageous. Second of all, look, these guys are all buddies. And what goes around comes around, and they're like, okay, when I'm in a position of power, I'll funnel you $30 million. And another day, my guess is that some of those guys are going to get paid speaking fees, or when they retire, all of a sudden, they're going to get things, etc. It's just a way of supporting their community. Yeah, you support your community in any way you like. It's a free country. You don't do it with my dollars.
Exactly, exactly. And also keep in mind, there are members of the military that are not Christian, who are not Christian. And maybe they don't want to participate in these activities. Maybe they don't want to go to these retreats and these churches. But a lot of them feel like they're obligated to do so.
Well, partly because in some of the cases, they are obligated to do so. For the concerts, the Christian concerts, they have to go. Even if they're not Christians, they have to go. And not only do they sing Christian songs, whatever those are, right? I'm not into that kind of music, God bless, but ironic. Anyway, but in between the songs, they read the Bible.
Yeah, they do.
They're like, Christ rocks. Okay, now let me read you Ezekiel, right? And then they have like these light shows that have crosses everywhere.
Right, they're like laser crosses.
Now, if you're a Jewish guy in the army serving your country, why do you have to be subjected to all these crosses and the Bible verses? If you're an agnostic guy, an atheist guy, look, maybe this is why this is 100% wrong. It should not be happening in the United States Army. But this is part of the reason why I can't go. Because some idiot boss of yours is going to make this decision, and backed by the administration during the Bush times, and obviously not fixed yet under Obama, right? If it's ever going to be fixed. And he says, okay, you have to do this. You have to go to this concert. And by the way, in some cases, for these retreats, they're like, if you're at this level, you don't get anything. You don't even get pizza, you don't get Coke, etc.
Yes.
But if you are a Christian, you want to go to the Christian retreat, then you get everything. You get the pizzas, the Cokes, the sometimes basically free vacations to beach resorts, etc.
Right. If you are, in the lower rankings of the military, you don't get many opportunities to go out and have fun with your family. So all of a sudden, there are these Christian retreats that have like ski trips and all of these fun things. But the thing is, if you go and you take advantage of those free, fun trips, at the same time, you have to sit there and listen to Christian fundamentalists preach to you. Yeah. Which happens in most of the cases. By the way, we have more, facts and figures for you guys that I have to share because I find it amazing. So there are also Christian youth centers that are contracted by the military. So military kids also get indoctrinated. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, I want to give you a couple examples of how much money is being spent on youth centers alone. The Military Community Youth Ministries received $12.4 million, and the Candence International received $2.7 million.
Sometimes they even stalk the kids to figure out who is and is not a Christian. And if they're not a Christian, they try to push them into these groups so that they get the Christian indoctrination. What the hell is this? Is this Saudi Arabia? What's going on in this country? It's beyond unacceptable. If this happened to me and I was in the military, I'd be so enraged. You don't get to brainwash my kids. You don't get to tell me that I got to go to Christian places and pray. I have no interest. I'm here to serve my country and possibly die for my country, and you're going to force your religion on top of me? Hell no. This is absolute brainwashing for Christianity and evangelical Christianity, which most Christians in America don't even agree with.
And it's all on our dime.